My beloved brothers and sisters, much of our suffering comes not from what happens to us, but from how much we fight what Allah has already written. We resist change, we resist loss, we resist the lessons hidden inside hardship. And in that resistance, our hearts grow heavy, restless, and exhausted. The moment you stop arguing with life and start trusting Allah's plan, something remarkable happens. Your heart softens, your mind quiets, and peace begins to settle within you. Acceptance is not weakness. Acceptance is faith. It is believing that Allah's wisdom is greater than your understanding and His plan is kinder than your fears. So let go of the struggle against what you cannot control. Place your trust where it belongs. When you stop resisting life and surrender your heart to Allah, peace appears gently, quietly, and powerfully. Resistance creates pain, acceptance creates peace. When you reflect deeply on your own life, you will notice that most of the pain you carry did not begin with the event itself, but with your resistance to it. The heart becomes heavy when it says, this should not have happened, or my life was supposed to be different. That silent argument with destiny is where the suffering grows. The event may have passed in a moment, but the resistance remains alive for months, sometimes years. Allah teaches us that nothing touches us except what He has written, yet the human heart struggles when it clings to control. Acceptance does not mean you enjoy the hardship, it means you stop fighting the wisdom behind it. The moment you allow your heart to bow before Allah's decree, something extraordinary occurs. Your chest loosens, your breath becomes lighter, the storm inside begins to settle. Resistance exhausts the soul because it demands a world that does not exist. Acceptance gives peace because it allows the heart to live in the world Allah has chosen for it. And when the heart lives where Allah placed it, tranquility begins to flow. You see, when a person resists reality, they are not resisting circumstances. They are resisting Allah's wisdom, even if they do not realize it. They keep asking why, instead of asking what lesson is hidden here. They replay the moment that broke them again and again, hoping it will change by repetition. But life does not rewrite itself for those who refuse to move forward. Allah did not promise us a life free of difficulty. He promised us His nearness within it. Resistance blinds the heart to this nearness. It convinces the soul that peace exists somewhere else, in another life, another outcome, another version of the past. Acceptance brings the heart back home. It says, I may not understand, but I trust. That sentence alone carries enormous healing. Trust dissolves the tension between what is and what we wish had been. When you surrender the argument with destiny, you stop bleeding from invisible wounds. Your heart no longer feels the need to compete with the will of Allah. It rests not because the pain vanished, but because the soul finally stopped running from it. Many people believe acceptance is giving up, but in truth, it is the highest form of strength. To accept is not to be defeated by life, it is to be elevated by faith. A heart that accepts says, my Lord knows better than me. This humility opens doors that resistance keeps locked. When you fight your reality, you imprison your own heart inside anger, regret, and fear. You become exhausted not by the problem, but by the battle you insist on fighting against it. Acceptance ends that war. It allows your energy to return to you. It allows your mind to stop reliving the same suffering. And slowly, peace begins to rebuild what resistance destroyed. Allah did not design your heart to carry endless arguments with fate. He designed it to carry trust. When trust enters, it soothes the parts of you that nothing else could touch. Even when the pain remains, it becomes softer, quieter, easier to carry. And that is the mercy hidden inside acceptance. Look at how children heal faster than adults. They fall, they cry, and then they rise. They do not spend years resisting the fall. As we grow, we begin to collect stories of how life should have been. Those stories become the chains around our hearts. We cling to old expectations, old dreams, old timelines, and when Allah redirects us, we suffer not because of the new path, but because we refuse to release the old one. Acceptance is the moment you loosen your grip. It is the moment you say, Ya Allah, I trust where you are taking me. And when that trust becomes real, your heart stops trembling at every change. The future no longer terrifies you. The past no longer controls you. You become present with Allah in this moment, exactly where He placed you. Peace is not found by escaping life. It is found by embracing the life Allah has written with a heart that trusts His plan more than its own understanding. There are wounds that no medicine can cure, but acceptance heals them from the inside. When someone loses what they love, their pain deepens when they resist the loss. They replay the goodbye, they question the timing, they torture their heart with what if. But when they say, this was Allah's decree, the pain begins to soften. It does not disappear, but it becomes meaningful. It becomes something they can carry without collapsing. Acceptance transforms pain into patience, and patience transforms suffering into strength. This is why Allah repeatedly links patience with reward, because patience is the fruit of acceptance. Without acceptance, patience cannot survive. A resisting heart will always break before it becomes patient. But an accepting heart grows patient naturally, gently, quietly. Over time, that patience becomes light inside the chest, and that light is what people call peace. Not the absence of struggle, but the presence of Allah within the struggle. Sometimes people say, why do I still feel pain even though I accept? Because acceptance is not a switch, it is a journey. It deepens with every test. The heart learns again and again that Allah's wisdom never fails. Each time you surrender, the heart becomes stronger, more anchored, more stable. Resistance weakens the soul, acceptance fortifies it. When storms come, the accepting heart bends but does not break. It whispers, Allah is with me, and that is enough. The resisting heart shatters because it feels alone, abandoned by life. But you were never abandoned. You were being guided, reshaped, refined. Acceptance allows you to see this. It changes the story of your pain from something that happened to you into something that grew you. That shift alone carries extraordinary healing. And in that healing, peace quietly takes root. One of the greatest lies the mind tells is that peace will come after everything is fixed. But Allah teaches us that peace comes when the heart surrenders, even if nothing outside changes. Acceptance does not require perfect conditions. It requires a trusting heart, a heart that says, even this is from Allah. That sentence is heavier than mountains. It carries relief. When you stop demanding that life be different before you allow yourself peace, you finally begin to breathe. Resistance keeps postponing your happiness. Acceptance brings it into the present. You realize that Allah did not place your peace at the end of your struggles. He placed it inside your surrender to Him. The heart that accepts becomes unshakable. It moves through loss without losing itself. It moves through fear without being ruled by it. It walks with Allah through every chapter of life, knowing that every page was written with wisdom. You will notice that the most peaceful people are not those with the easiest lives. They are the ones who have learned to accept Allah's will without bitterness. Their hearts do not rebel against destiny. They do not curse the road when it becomes difficult. They trust the guide who walks with them on that road. Resistance fills the heart with complaints. Acceptance fills it with contentment. Contentment is not about having what you want. It is about wanting what Allah has given you. When that feeling enters the heart, anxiety loses its grip, regret loosens its chains, fear stops shouting, and in that silence the soul finally hears the voice of faith. That is the beginning of peace. Every day Allah invites your heart to rest in Him, but resistance blocks the door. You keep trying to fix what Allah already arranged. You keep replaying what He already closed. You keep fearing what He already controls. Acceptance opens the door. It says, Ya Allah, I am yours and everything in my life is yours. That surrender does not make you weak. It makes you unbreakable. Because when the heart belongs fully to Allah, nothing in this world can truly destroy it. That heart may be wounded, but it will not be defeated. It may grieve, but it will not lose hope. It may fall, but it will rise again, stronger, calmer, steadier. That is the miracle of acceptance. Even your mistakes become lighter when you stop resisting your own past. So many people suffer because they fight who they were instead of learning from who they were. Acceptance does not justify your wrongs, it allows you to grow beyond them. Allah does not want you trapped in yesterday, He wants you walking toward Him today. Resistance keeps you chained to what you cannot change. Acceptance frees you to build what you still can. That freedom is priceless. It lifts a weight that many do not even realize they are carrying. And when that weight is lifted, the heart becomes spacious again. It has room for hope, for faith, for trust, for calm. That is peace returning to where it always belonged. In the end, resistance creates pain because it fights reality. Acceptance creates peace because it aligns with truth. And the greatest truth is that Allah knows, Allah plans, Allah cares. When you allow that truth to settle in your heart, life stops feeling like a battlefield. It becomes a journey of trust. You still face storms, but you are no longer afraid of the sky. You still face losses, but you are no longer empty inside. You still walk through hardship, but you walk with Allah. And when you walk with Allah, no road can ever truly destroy your peace. Allah's plan is always kinder than your fears. Fear is one of the strongest emotions that the human heart carries, and most of that fear comes from imagining a future that Allah has not even written. We worry about loss, failure, loneliness, sickness, and disappointment. But what we often forget is that the one who controls tomorrow is the same one who showed you mercy yesterday. Your fear sees only danger, but Allah's plan sees protection. Your fear sees only the storm, but Allah's plan carries the shelter within it. Many times what you fear the most becomes the very path through which Allah saves you from something far worse. The heart becomes restless when it trusts its own imagination more than it trusts its Creator. But when you slowly replace fear with faith, something beautiful happens. You realize that Allah has never been careless with your life. Every delay, every loss, every unexpected turn was guided by wisdom greater than your understanding. Even when you could not see the purpose, it was already working for your good. When the heart accepts this truth, fear begins to lose its authority. Peace grows where worry once lived. So often we panic because the road ahead looks unclear, forgetting that clarity does not come from seeing the future, it comes from trusting the one who holds it. You do not need to see the full picture for Allah's plan to be perfect. You only need to walk the next step with faith. Fear tells you that if you lose this, you are finished. Allah's plan says that if you lose this, something better is being prepared. Fear says that the door closing means the end. Allah says that the door closing is protection from what you could not see behind it. Many people look back at their lives and realize that the moments they once cried over were the very moments that saved them. At the time, their fear was loud, their hearts were breaking, and their minds were filled with doubt. Yet Allah was already arranging something far more merciful. When this realization settles inside you, your heart becomes calmer. You stop fighting the unknown and start trusting the one who designed it. Your fears are born from limited vision. Allah's plan flows from infinite knowledge. You see only the present moment, but Allah sees your entire life, your akhirah, and every soul you will touch along the way. This is why His decisions may not always make sense to your heart, but they always carry mercy within them. When Allah removes something from your life, He is not punishing you, He is repositioning you. When He delays something you desire, He is not ignoring you, He is protecting you. When He changes your direction, He is not destroying your plans, He is refining them. Fear cannot understand this because fear is built on what you want. Faith is built on who Allah is. The moment you begin to trust His character, His wisdom and His care, your fears slowly loosen their grip. You start to feel safe even when life feels uncertain. That safety is the gift hidden inside surrender. There are nights when fear keeps the heart awake, replaying every possible disaster that could happen tomorrow. But Allah invites you to sleep with trust, because He never sleeps and He never fails to protect what belongs to Him. Your life belongs to Allah, your heart belongs to Allah, your future belongs to Allah. Nothing reaches you without passing through His permission. When you truly understand this, you realize that your fear has been exaggerating its power. Allah's plan is not built on harm, it is built on mercy. Even the pain He allows is a form of guidance. Even the tears you shed are counted and rewarded. Even the trials you endure are shaping you into someone stronger, softer, wiser, and closer to Him. Fear makes you believe you are alone. Allah's plan constantly reminds you that you are being carried. Sometimes Allah allows your plans to fall apart because He is protecting you from the version of life you would have chosen if you knew no better. There are relationships you would have stayed in that would have destroyed your heart. There are opportunities you would have chased that would have drained your soul. There are dreams you would have fulfilled that would have pulled you away from Allah. Fear cries when these things are taken away, but Allah smiles because He knows what is coming next. When the heart finally accepts that Allah's plan